The kingdom of God is like yeast, which a woman took and mixed with 3 measures of flour until all of it was leavened. So we come today to the idea of yeast, when yesterday we were looking at the mustard seed. And I love this image of yeast. It's something I've only discovered in the last couple of years as being something which is a fantastic way of thinking about the kingdom of God and the way it works, which I think says that the kingdom of God is hidden, and also that it spreads thoroughly and effectively, but you can't see it happening. In effect, the idea of yeast is that the kingdom of God is viral. I've also sort of become more aware in recent months that I understand that the New Testament, being written in Greek, was not Jesus' own language. It's not the language that he spoke. In fact, it's even possible that he didn't speak it at all, and that it actually was others, his disciples, who could speak it. And that, I think, is very interesting, because somebody had to take a decision as to what language the Christian faith spread itself in. And the fact that they took the strategic decision to do it in Greek says an awful lot about the desire for the kingdom of God to spread. It couldn't do it in Aramaic. And it's a reminder to us, as Anglicans, we often have a hang-up over Jacobean English, and I'm thinking with this coming year, when we remember the King James Version, we've got to look out for that, because actually is it about the integrity and the language in which the faith is expressed, or is it about how we spread it? I work in business, and have throughout my career, and I've always struggled with the fact that my faith hasn't been a resource. When I say I'm a Christian, people don't turn around and say, great, that's a real help. In fact, to them it's probably more of a problem. But that nowadays, when we're actually much more interested in how ideas spread, and in social media, and in currency, in business, the viral character of the Christian faith, it seems to me to be a fantastic resource that we should be exploring far more and sharing with people, because it's something people are really interested in. One of these concepts is like the idea of a social object. A social object is like a fire. Something you make is like a fire that people gather themselves around and warm themselves at. They throw more things on it, and as the fire grows, more and more people come and sit around it. Now, churches, or I should say church buildings, are social objects. A liturgy is a social object. Even the Challenge 2010 initiative and the website are social objects, and these days it's possible to measure how effective they are at gathering people around them. Tonight in our church we have the 3rd of our hands-on sessions, when a nurse and a primary school teacher are going to be teaching us, explaining to a group of us how to do gardening, because they have an allotment. So we're basically going to learn how to grow vegetables and fruit this evening. Why have we done that? Well, because it's a way of engaging with our friends and neighbours. Previous sessions have covered things like digital photography and how to help people to do that better, and to edit photos on a computer, how to go onto eBay and use that better, how to go to car boot sales and get more out of that. So why are we doing that? Well, the hunch is that these things are social objects. The idea of gathering people to do that is it will actually draw in a lot more people than would necessarily come to a service by itself. And the whole point about this is that these are opportunities for learning, for friendship, for interaction, which often we don't get from our services. Now, do I think this is going to be a tremendous success? No. Like many of these initiatives, it starts very slowly, and we have to learn. It doesn't work as well as we think it will. Just because you hand out a church notice doesn't mean that people come along. Just because you ask people to bring their friends doesn't mean they bring their friends. But the reason why we start with these things and work with them is exactly because of this principle of the yeast, which is that it's hidden and it works. It'll keep on working until all of the flour is leavened.